Hello, my name is Steve Hammond, and I'm here representing the Grand Valley State University's Veterans History Project. And today we have the privilege of sitting here interviewing Mr. Ray Jedlowski. He's from Caledonia, which is actually kind of close to Kentwood. But anyway, Ray, thank you for letting us interview you. And
Well, thank you, Steve.
we'll start out right away with when you were born and where you were born.
Oh, I was born in 1942 in Portsmouth, Virginia. At that time, my dad was a chief in the Navy, so I'm kind of a Navy brat. And I was kind of disappointed when I chose the Air Force versus the Navy. I just told him, Dad, it's too much water. I don't want to do that. I want to fly. so anyway, that's kind of how that happened. Went to Fortson High School in Dearborn, Michigan. Graduated in 1962. And at that time, you couldn't find a job cutting a lawn, cleaning gutters, and there was really no opportunities for me when I graduated from high school. And I recall having an old car that my dad got a good price on, and it would hurt me very much that I had to ask him for gas money time and time again. And what made it worse is he'd always give me that $10 with a smile. And at that time I decided, you know, it's time for me to do something else because I couldn't find a job, so I decided that I would go down to the recruiting office and see what was available.
So I'm going to just stop you right there just for a second because I want to go back farther.
Okay.
Okay. You were born in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
What was your mother and father's name?
Raymond and Helen Jedlowski.
Did you have any brothers or sisters?
No, only child.
Okay, good. You said your dad was a Navy man. Did he do 20 years in it, 30 years in it?
He spent 10 and a half years in the Navy, and oftentimes he'd always assign a sailor to me on a destroyer while they were attending a function or something, and Dad would tell me, make sure he's here when I get back.
You were actually on a destroyer?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But did you go out to sea or were you just at port?
No, in port.
Okay.
He was stationed in Virginia Beach, the Naval Center there. And so, yeah, I've been on a lot of ships. I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember some of it. But,
What was your dad in during the Korean War? Or?
the Second World War.
He was in the Second World War? Oh, okay. Was he in any battles at all? Or?
Oh, yes. Yeah, but Dad didn't like to talk about him much, so...
Do you know which ones they were or what ship he was on? Or?
I had to pull things out of him, and every time I would ask him things about that, he would become sad. So I just stopped. I decided if he wanted to tell me, then he would.
Yeah.
So I didn't press him any more than that. So
Did he ever tell you before he passed away? No, he didn't. Okay. Was he at Pearl Harbor at all, or was he?
no, he was out to sea. I don't know where, but it was not near Pearl Harbor at the time.
Okay. All right.
So.
Well, we can all say thank you for your dad for his service. I mean, I know he's not here or
Yeah,
anything.
it just seems like our whole family was. I mean, my dad's uncle was in the Army, and all his brothers were, and all my cousins were all in the service, and it brings me to the point of these draft dodgers, these ones that would want to go to Canada and not serve the country. Well, if you can live with that the rest of your life, I guess that's your choice. I can't. I thought it was my duty, as it was my dad's, to whatever it takes to protect the freedom of this country, because, as we all know, freedom is not free.
That is true, and thank you very much, too. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. I'd go again if they needed me.
I would, too. I don't blame you. You mentioned an uncle that was in the Army during World War II? Or?
Yes, and he was under Patton.
Oh, what was his name?
Walter Jedlowski. He was a tank commander.
Hmm.
And when they went to Sicily, and it was Palermo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow. Wow. Okay, now we come up to you're born in 42, you said, and okay, you were stationed in your dad was stationed in Virginia, and you were living in Virginia. What made you come up to Michigan?
Well, my dad at that time just felt as though that he wanted a place to call home and didn't want to be out to sea for all that length of time, especially just when he had a son, and so he just decided to get out of the Navy.
Hmm.
And then we moved from Virginia Beach to Dearborn Heights, Michigan,
Wow.
and bought a home there.
Hmm. Well, I mean, did you have family? You have family up in Michigan?
Yes,
Or?
yes. Yeah, all, his brothers and sisters were in Dearborn, the Garden City area.
Okay.
So.
All right. Cool. All right. So, what did your dad do for work after he got out of the service?
In the service, he was in diesel, in the engine room.
Mm-hmm.
Was his job there. He oversaw the running and keep the ship going
Mm-hmm.
and keeping it running properly. And then after that, he decided he wanted to become a mechanic and went to mechanic school.
Hmm. Wow. And what did your mother do?
My mom worked at Burroughs Corporation in Livonia, Michigan,
Hmm.
and they made things for the cars and things like that.
Were they like
Circuit boards and things.
a subsidiary of like the big three automakers, or did they
Not
just?
at that time, no.
Okay.
Mm-mm, no. I'm glad she worked there because they had a beautiful resort for the employees only called Burroughs Farm, where you could play golf, swimming, you could camp out there, and really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, in Kensington Park area in Michigan.
Hmm. Okay. And you said you graduated at Portsmouth High School
Yeah, Fortson in Dearborn.
in Dearborn. Okay. How was that down there, growing up in Detroit? Or
When I was there,
yeah.
great. Ask me what it is now.
No, I won't.
Okay.
I know all about Detroit.
Okay.
So, but anyway, were you a big sports fan?
Yes.
Any of those teams down there?
Well, I played football.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
What'd you play?
Running back.
Okay. All right.
Actually, I was just fast because of fear. I mean, I didn't weigh much. So, no, we did well.
So you big Tiger fan, Lions fan, Red Wings?
I like the Red Wings and disappointed in the Tigers, but I think they'll bounce back. But,
How about back then? Did you go to any games at Old Tiger Stadium with your dad?
yes,
or?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
My
what-
God, it was such enjoyable memories.
Wasn't it though?
Yeah. And
Who did you see play? Anybody famous or?
I saw Al Kaline and Norm Cash, Freehand the catcher, and Northrop, and Mickey Lolich.
Good '68 crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Then of course I see you're a big Michigan fan. Was your family all into Michigan football back then?
My
or?
whole family just crazy Michigan. They're just
Oh.
they bleed blue. I'm telling you, they're just amazing.
Yeah.
And then my dad's aunts and uncles, of course, state. So here we go. That lit the
Oh,
candle.
yeah.
So here it goes. Here it goes. Yeah.
Yep, I'm the same way. I'm a state fan, and my brother's a Michigan fan,
Yeah.
so yep.
But you know what? We have to be opposites because then there wouldn't be a rivalry, would there?
There you go.
Yeah, it's got
But-
to happen.
But it's better than Notre Dame and Ohio State, right?
Oh, I'm for anybody that beats Ohio State.
Anyway, we'll get back to
Okay.
that stuff. But anyway, okay, so you graduated high school '62, and then you decided to enlist in the Air Force.
Yes.
Okay, and then you mentioned before, but go over it again why you decided that instead of any other branch.
Well, actually, this is a vivid. When I walked in the recruiter's office, there was a long hallway, and I seen signs that said Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, and I saw just walking straight down the hall was the Air Force recruiter. I said, I guess I meant to go there. So I just walked in the Air Force recruiter's office and said, here I am.
Wow.
So,
So, and then you said your dad had comments about that.
Yeah, I didn't even tell my dad. So I come home, I said, Dad, guess what I did? He said, what? I said, I enlisted. He said, oh, in the Navy? No. He said, no. I said, too much water, Dad. I've been there, done that. With you, I don't, no, Air Force. I want to fly. So, but he was just messing with me.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever I chose to do, he was certainly supportive, but he was surprised.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it was the same with me. My dad was in the Navy too, and I signed up in the Army Guard. So we're in the same boat here,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the same plane, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But
What was cool on Halloween, I didn't have outfit, so I'd wear his Navy clothes. You know, with the 13 buttons and
sure, yeah.
and the shirt and the white nice T-shirt.
While you were growing up, that's what you did in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Halloween, yeah. Well, that's pretty neat. Okay, so then you signed up there in Detroit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Fort Wayne.
Okay, now at that time, I can't remember my history of that time, but there was a draft, right, at that time, but your number probably wasn't coming up quite yet, was it?
No, I enlisted. I did not get drafted at all.
Okay.
I wanted to go. I think there was a draft at that time. Yes.
Now at this time, President Kennedy was in office in 1962 when you enlisted, and Vietnam was still fairly early at that time. What did you know about Vietnam before you went over there when you enlisted in the Air Force? Did they tell you anything, or did they?
No, not really. But just before that, when we had the Cuban Missile Crisis,
Mm-hmm.
I was involved in that, baby.
How was that?
Well, because on our base we had B-52s.
Mm-hmm.
They were all gone, and we were convinced that we were going to war.
Against Cuba or Russia?
Russia.
Yep.
At that time, and so they called us in, and we had, a briefing about what to expect, what we're going to do. So that was a little scary.
I bet.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back to that later, but we got to go back to your basic training at Lackland Air Force
Lackland,
Base in San Antonio, Texas. Tell me about that.
Hot. Very, very hot. And, it just, I can remember the kids on the bus, when I call them kids because that's how they run the process. You're a kid when you get off the bus, and you're a man when you walk out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Taught responsibility, everything you had to be just so. Wake you up in the middle of the night, run 5-10 miles. Just doing KP, just policing the area, the same area day after day after day. And then one day we found a jackrabbit in there, so we all surrounded him. The jackrabbit surrendered. He just laid down flat like, no, I can't. I'm too scared to do anything. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, we would have a 3-day pass, and once in a while, and went to town. Do what most guys do. Have a couple of beers.
Mm-hmm.
That's another story. Want to hear about that one?
Sure.
Okay.
This is all after basic training, or during your basic training?
This is tech school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you went up to Amarillo after that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tech school. Let us know what tech school is about.
Administration. Everything that we need to do. All the learn the regulations and 6-/14 form and just everything that you need to know to make it run. So we graduated from that night on a Friday, so we went to town. Well, unfortunately, we weren't 21, so the elevator operator that we used to have operators that took them up and down offered to get us some beer. So we paid an exorbitant amount of money for beer, and we're enjoying the cocktails in the room, and then in turn he calls the Texas Rangers on us. Yeah. So we had to go back to the air base in open air pickup truck. And riding in the back in December.
Ooh.
Cold.
Even down in Texas, that's pretty cold.
Oh yeah. Very cold.
Did you have snow down there at that time?
No, just bitter cold.
Mm.
But that didn't stop the parades every Saturday, though. We were out there every Saturday passing review.
Oh, every Saturday, huh? Wow. How long did you have to stand there in formation?
It felt like eternity, but probably about an hour and a half. They would give the awards and any decorations and things. So. And drill pad every day. Why does you always get one guy that's got 2 left feet? you know, and just, you know, we're out there extra time because he don't get it.
It always happens, no matter what branch you're
And
in.
I know it.
Okay, so you got your administrative training at tech school there in Amarillo. Then where were you stationed after that?
My orders would go to Washington D.C.
Okay.
Andrews Air Force Base. That's the home of Air Force One.
Mm-hmm.
And it was assigned to the 1,001st Civil Engineers.
Okay. And let us know what, I know what civil engineers are, but let everybody else know what civil engineers are in the Air Force.
All right, civil engineers is your plumbers, electricians, carpenters, just all the skilled trades that are necessary. And great bunch of guys, you know, really hard-working guys that really knew their stuff. This is a trade that they could take out on the outside and immediately begin working anywhere.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so,
Kind of like the Navy Seabees, really.
yeah, actually,
Yep.
yeah. So it's really cool. But,
Now you mentioned about the Cuban Missile Crisis. Tell us about that right from the beginning. What you heard, then all of a sudden, you mentioned the bombers too. Mention everything about that, if you can.
well, we didn't hear it formally. I mean, we would hear it from our peers or our lieutenants or captains openly talking about it, you know, and rushing around. And when you see all the B-52s are gone, and all you have is your T-33 trainers on the pad, and that's all you got on the base, something's up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's when we heard Kennedy make his speech that, you know, we're not backing down. You know, Russia, you want to bring it.
Mm-hmm.
What you had to do, we weren't going to have missiles 90 miles from us.
Oh yeah.
No, that's not happening. So.
Yep. And now, did he go on the nation and do it, or did he address just the armed forces? I think he went on the nation, didn't he?
Yeah, that's where Khrushchev was in charge.
Yep.
And backed him down.
What did you all think when you finally got the word that they're going to remove the missiles?
We were delighted about that. That is great stuff because, you know, in nuclear war there's no winners. So
No,
you know,
isn't.
and there'll never be winners. It's going to be total chaos. So.
What did they have a plan in case, unfortunately, a missile did come your way for you guys to go, or?
They were bunkers.
Okay.
Yeah, we were okay.
Did you see any of them or go on them?
No.
Okay.
If they would have launched, we would have immediately been evacuated to the bunkers.
Well, especially in D.C. area too, that'd be.
Yeah, there's bunkers everywhere.
Now, Air Force One, that's their home, like you said. Did you see it a lot?
Yes.
Did you? Did you ever get to see President Kennedy or his family, or the Vice President Johnson, or anything?
No, I'm not a big fan of Johnson either. But,
Right.
yeah.
Well, we can talk about that later.
No, not so.
But anyway,
no, I did not. No.
Okay. Okay, then when did you actually go to Vietnam?
1965.
Okay, before that, you mentioned to me before I started interviewing you about when Kennedy was shot. Tell me about that day that he was shot and when you guys heard it and how everybody felt, and you too, of course.
Oh, I was just at my desk, and when we heard the news, it's like your body's drained and you got no interest in working anymore. It's just like you just amble out of there and just walk to just try to process it. You know, it was just unbelievable.
Now, was it like that for the high NCOs and officers? Did they feel the same way?
Oh
or?
yeah. Everybody was just like, what? You know, what just happened?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was total shock, and it's just amazing how that news like that just drains your energy, just numb.
Mm-hmm.
How do you process that?
So, were you there when they brought his casket, his
Yeah.
body? How was that?
I was down at the flight line.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Air Force One came in with Johnson and Mrs.
Yeah.
Kennedy and them? Okay. Did you know that was them there?
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
Right.
So tell me about that if you want to.
Well, I just want to see for myself, you know, just to validate it, that was true.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
historians have said many times, and even included a couple of professors at Grand Valley State, said the two worst days in American history is when President Lincoln and President Kennedy were shot.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I do.
Okay.
Kennedy was a good man.
Yep.
Good man.
I know Lincoln was way before our time, but do you think that still holds together today?
I do, because he meant what he said. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess I could have made that call. I mean, that cannot happen. You cannot be putting missiles 90 miles from our homeland. No, you're not going to do it. And you do what you have to, but we're not going to allow it.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, now, did you do any security thing for Kennedy's funeral, or was things all tight and locked down when all that happened that week?
Oh, yeah, the base was locked down, absolutely. Yeah, if you weren't on the base, you weren't, nobody was getting in. And they had dignitaries, of course, for when the body was brought to, unloaded and put in the hearse.
Oh. Did you, anybody on the base provide security when he was lying in state in the Capitol or anything like that during the funeral?
I'm sure that happened, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure that happened.
Did you all get to watch his funeral at all, or?
No.
Didn't you?
No, I guess I knew enough. I
Yeah.
didn't want to go any further, but so sad. Good
Yeah.
man.
We'll get back to Kennedy later, and then of course Johnson took over. Now we'll get back to you. When did you actually go to Vietnam?
1965.
Okay, and when did you get the orders to go to Nam?
Well, it's interesting because my job was to process volunteer statements to go to Vietnam. I didn't process myself at all. But those guys that filled out volunteer statements to go to Vietnam, they didn't go. It just seemed like the ones that did not volunteer was the ones that went. So I was very surprised when I got my orders to do that.
Oh. I'm gonna have to stop you just for a second here. All right, we're back. Go ahead. You just got your orders for Vietnam.
Yes, and which I was pretty shocked because I certainly didn't volunteer to go, but I certainly would go. And I had approximately 21 days before the deployment. So, and can I back up one more part from before?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. When I went to Fort Wayne, they're supposed to fly us to Lackland. Well, some of us had to be put on a train and took the train to Texas. Air conditioning went out 2 or 3 times. The food was awful. They just got the air conditioning working and the next station went out again. That was one horrible ride to Texas. Anyway.
No, that's fine. You can go back and let us know, fill in the gaps as soon as you remember.
Well, most of them got to get flown there, but no, this little segment here took the train. Now, why, I don't know. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, so now, obviously, did they activate the whole unit, or did these parts of the unit?
All the civil engineers went. Our whole group.
Okay.
Everybody, plumbers, electricians, everybody went. Everybody's gone.
And how many was that?
About 45.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you got your orders to go to Vietnam. How did you feel? Did you tell your parents you were going there?
Yes.
What'd they say?
Well, Mom's cried, Dad shaked your hand. That was kind of it, It's like, I do this, Dad, just like you did. It's just my turn.
Did he give you any advice or anything to say to you? No, nothing at all?
No pep talk, no.
Okay. Now, at that time, as you said, 1965 you went? Okay. At that time, we were just starting to get into it. What did you hear about Vietnam up to that time you got your orders?
That we were just sending advisors, trying to help them train their military, Um, weren't painting a war picture at that time. It maybe you hear a skirmish or something, but not what was really there.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But no, it wasn't anything.
nothing like that, huh?
No.
Okay, so you took off from Andrews Air Force Base. Where'd you go from there?
Hawaii.
Hawaii? Straight from all the way to Hawaii, or you just landed on the West Coast first?
All the way to Hawaii.
B-52 or
141 Starlifter, I think it was called.
okay.
It's a great big plane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we didn't get seats like this. We got the leather straps.
The cargo seats,
Cargo
right?
seats.
Yeah, I had that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we get to Hawaii. Everybody said, "You ever been to Hawaii before?" Sorta. I was on the ground for an hour while they refueled, and then we took off again.
Hmm.
So never forget. I think I had a quarter on the counter for a cup of coffee. She says, "You know, it's 35 cents." Back in '62, that's big money.
Sure.
Coffee? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So how long did you stay in Hawaii?
an hour.
An hour. Okay. Right at Hickam Air Force Base.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then off to Vietnam, huh?
There we went.
All right. So then when you got there, you mentioned to me earlier. Was there some kind of skirmish just outside your base? Oh, but name the base you were at in Vietnam.
It's called Pleiku
Okay. And
Air Base.
where was that at in Vietnam? Near Saigon or some other place, was it? Or
About an hour out of Saigon,
north?
north.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then when the pilot landed, he said, "You know, you guys are earning combat pay now." I says, "Oh yeah, why is that?" He said, "'Cause we got bullet holes in the wing."
Did they shoot while you were in the air?
Sure.
Or
Oh yeah, they always do.
they shot you while you were in the
No, they shot at our plane.
Oh, they shot at your plane.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. So,
Yeah.
did you know about it at the time, or
Only when he landed and told us.
you couldn't feel the bullets hit, huh?
No,
Okay.
it was a big plane.
They,
I don't think we were in any danger, but to just make it more aerodynamic is all.
yeah. Wow. So, how did you feel after you found that out?
I didn't. Actually, I thought it was kind of humorous because I was pretty darn young, and they'll be all right, no big deal. Here. But the guys would never plan for tomorrow. We always did what we did today, and plan something for tomorrow. Well, we'll see. Yeah, that kind of attitude.
Wow. So, you mentioned to me earlier, like I was saying, there was like a skirmish or battle just near the base?
Yes, there was. Nothing that we were involved in when we got there, but we had the A-1E jets were at that base, and they would drop bombs in the jungle on the perimeters, just trying to thin them out some. And then next to my hoots, we had a 105 howitzer that would go off at 8 o'clock every night. And if you can get used to sleeping from me to the wall, and there's a howitzer over there going off, you can still sleep. Good for you. It's really good. But you get used to it.
Wow. It must have been pretty loud.
Yeah, it was. And then, so they would change commands, and one of the boneheads forgot to pass on the firing pin.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sitting out there, they can't fire anything. It's just one of the silly things that happen.
But you got to have a lot of humor and laughter.
Oh yeah, or you won't make it.
Yeah.
And then we were out in the field, we're building billets for the First Cav that's pushing their way through. Well, we got the monkeys coming out of the trees, they're stealing our hammers, and went up the tree and throw them at you.
Real monkeys.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What kind of monkeys? They weren't chimpanzees,
no,
were they?
the
Spider monkeys?
Spider monkeys, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they take the nails, or they thought that was great fun. So then we all had to wear the hard hats. They'll dunk you in those hammers. So, yeah.
Wow. Did anybody get hurt?
No. So, and then the guys made the mistake of feeding them. Well, you start doing that, and then you made a mistake.
Yeah, you don't feed wild animals
No.
like that. Even though they seem pretty tame, still. Yeah.
Well, because they always want to be with you because you're the food source now.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
What other animals did you have contact with out there? Any dangerous ones or
Yeah.
any? Because we hear all kinds of stories about snakes and other things out there.
Fortunately not. There could have been some in that trench that was around our perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
We had lights that would show into the trench and out in the field. So in the event of alert, we would all go in there, and we were still upset because they shined the lights on us. Well, that's like shining it on the ducks in a gallery. You put your lights out there, not on us. So we swore the next time we get hit, those lights are coming out.
Wow. So did you hear that battle that was going on near the base at all? Or?
Oh yeah, well you can hear it every day.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean I was involved in that shooting at that time, but you can hear it.
Was it so it was the Viet Cong trying to infiltrate the base,
Right.
basically? Yeah. And obviously, was it the first Cav that drove them back? Was it or?
At that time the first cab was pushing through, so that's what all the problem was with all the noise was. It's because they were out there. So.
Okay.
So our job was to go in and to build quarters for them, which was made out of wood and then a canvas top. So that was our job to build. I don't know how many we built, 100 or so. I'm not sure. Then we had an on-base guy that wanted to be a barber. So civil engineer said, "Look, we'll build you this barber shop, but you got to give us a good deal." "Oh yeah, I'll give you a good deal." So they built a nice one. I mean, this thing is nice. 2 weeks later, it burnt down because it had a hot plate down there. He said, "We're not building you another one." So, and then we had a house mama-san who did our washing and take care of our clothes and stuff. And they had the best inside information about what's going on everywhere. There's this woman, they're washing clothes just at the well where they all scrub and use the washboard, and then she'd come back and say, "No, go to town, trouble in town tonight. Don't go, stay on base." Sure enough. So.
Well, they had the information, I'm sure.
Yeah. She shared it with us because we were a meal ticket. We paid her handsomely.
Sure.
So she wanted to take care of her job. But
what was the name of the town you were close by? You remember?
Well, the town of Pleiku, but it wasn't much of a town. They had thatched huts and dirt floors. But I'll tell you what's cool. They asked us to take a load of gravel out to the mountain yard villages. And take these about 4 dump trucks out there full of gravel. Well, so I never drove a dump truck before, but oh well, here's the keys, figure it out. So we go out there, and Steve, it was like jumping into a history book, like a page of thatched huts, women weaving baskets on the side of the road, and the mountain yard people. They have interesting wedding ceremony. The groom knocks out of her front teeth to signify that she is married. Truth.
Wow.
And
her front teeth.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the signal that she's spoken for. And then the chief invited us to drink rice wine, and he would have a line that you drink down a line or you baby. Well, we weren't big drinkers, we were kids. So I'm rolling around in the back of the dump truck with 2 grenades, 2 clips of M16, and I don't feel good. So anyway, that turned out all right, and because the mountain yard and Vietnamese people have never gotten along, never ever, centuries, never gotten along.
Really?
Really, always combating.
Think they still are?
Oh yeah, I'm certain. Yeah, I don't think it's ever gonna quit. And hygiene for them limited. You gotta go to the bathroom, you go.
Right out in public, huh?
There we are.
Male or female, huh?
Yep. And in the mountain yard, women didn't have bras.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Fly land on their breasts, they don't care. I'll edit that one out.
Sure. Your bathrooms were outdoor latrines, weren't they? Or?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And you had a dining facility there too, did you? Or basically a tent like MASH or something like that?
We just had a room. And all of our meals were C-Rations. Not MREs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Packed in 1942.
Wow.
Yeah, beanie weenies, ham and eggs. You take the lid off. The only thing you want to eat, even if you got to shoot dice for, is beanie weenies. The rest of it they can keep. It was grease was this thick.
Wow. Anybody get sick off that?
No, but you had a lot of skinny guys because we wouldn't eat this stuff. It was awful. You know, so we'd write home. You know, don't send cakes or cookies because it's all going to be broken when we get it. Send us canned goods, please.
Wow.
You know, something that we knew was edible. And then on Christmas Day, you know, we had C-Rations and we always had beer.
Well, you had alcohol?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We couldn't get toothpaste, but we could get alcohol. And I worked for a Major Castellero, and the commander, and he says, I'm going to get a combination safe. I thought to myself, oh, sure you are. We can't even get our basics, and you're going to get that. Well, sure enough, he got it. So I had to set the combination. I says, what, you want me to tell you what the combination? No, you just keep the combination. If I need to get in there, I'll call you. That was a mistake. You must have had insomnia. 2 o'clock in the morning, CQ runner's going to get me because the major wants to get in the safe. So I got to get up, get dressed, go unlock it for him, open the drawer, and then I got to go back. So somewhere in Southeast Asia, there's a safe that nobody can open.
You think it's buried somewhere?
It could be, but I got the combination.
You got the combo, huh? Okay. Anything valuable in there, you think, anymore?
Probably special orders or probably secret stuff, but you know.
So anyway, lately I've seen on the Travel Channel and the Food Network, they have on cable TV, some, not veterans, I know veterans have gone back to Vietnam, but people in food, they go to Vietnam, specifically Ho Chi Minh City, which used to be Saigon, and they say on there that there's like over 200 different fruits and vegetables in Vietnam. Did you see any of them out there at all, or?
You know the saddest part of that war? Something like that, 548,000 men. Are you serious? It's too much.
It is.
And we didn't win. To me, first, one of our guys drops. We're expected to win it at all costs. There's no such thing as ties in war.
Right.
So.
I agree. But anyway, did you ever go any fishing out there? Or anything like that?
No.
Were you even near a river or lake that you could do that?
Well, we went swimming on Christmas Day.
Where, in the Mekong Delta, or?
No, we found a lake.
Did you?
Yeah. Of course, we got caught swimming there too. But anyway.
Did you see any over there?
No, wait, we had here's that we got 40 guys, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, there's 20 on the perimeter of the lake.
Uh-huh.
And 20 swim.
Mm-hmm.
With our stuff was real close to us. I mean, okay, when we're done swimming, we get out, we get dressed, and they go in and swim. But no, unfortunately, we didn't. We must have got our schedules okay because they didn't come in then. But if they did, it would have been a mess. We'd have been in it. But
Wow.
it was so hot there. That's
I
a
bet.
poorest piece of real estate. Then they get the rainy season. Man, it rains every day.
Mm.
Mildew, mosquitoes that could probably beat you up. I mean, just.
Did you guys get any bug spray that helped you out, or?
Well, we had netting for each bunk had nets, but you know, you're out in the field, out in the construction area. You gotta deal with it.
Anybody catch the malaria or any kind of?
No.
Okay.
Well, the guys come back good shape.
Okay, so when did you leave Vietnam? Oh, actually, before we do that, did you ever go to Saigon?
No.
Or did you see the Mekong Delta or anywhere else like that, or?
No, we were pretty much confined there because our job was construction, so we didn't get to go anywhere or do much of anything other than, we had told you about that day room?
Mm-hmm.
We had one movie, Annette Funicello and Bikini Beach Party. We saw that. I could almost recite the dialogue. I mean, that was the only movie we had. We watched it up 30 times or something. And
In the whole year, that's all you saw?
Yeah, and we're trying to trade movies with other. No, we don't have any. Or no, we're not trading. So that was it. And we didn't have chairs in there either. You sat on the floor.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
And then Christmas Day, we got our C-Rations. Sit on the floor.
Christmas Day of '65?
Yes.
Okay. What, you said there was a mama-san that did your laundry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the only contact you had with any civilians, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, and supposedly all the on-base Vietnamese are screened. I doubt it. I don't think that's true. I mean, see, that's just the problem with that war. You didn't know the good guy from the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's good Vietnamese and bad Vietnamese. It's not like shirts and skins. I mean, you don't know.
Sure.
So you watch everything and everybody.
Did anybody ever come on base that the kids bombs on them or anything like that? Or?
No, that's why I stayed out of Saigon.
Okay.
Because they'd walk in the restaurant and blow it up.
Yeah.
And then we had a Vietnamese guy who would run a lawnmower, and the lawnmower got clogged with weeds, so he put his hand in there to unclog it. So we had to rush him over to the hospital because half of his hand was missing. He put it in the blades. He didn't turn it off.
Wow.
So just.
Did they save his hand? Did
Yeah.
They?
Yeah, but,
That's good.
you know, and teach him. It's probably the first time he's ever saw one.
Probably, yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But can they make crossbows? Those folks are carpenters. And I'll tell you, they can really make things. I tried to bring one back, but they wouldn't let me. That's a souvenir. You know.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Okay, so you didn't go to Saigon. You basically stayed on Pleiku, whatever, and stuff.
Yeah.
And
one of the things about, we had the club that we went to, whether Americans are pretty cool people. Because when you get in a situation like that, they don't care how much money you got. They don't care what branch of service you're in.
mm-hmm.
You're American. We're together and we're on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nobody was a stranger anytime you went in there, whether you knew him or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I've had First Cav guys switch T-shirts just for luck, and just amazing camaraderie.
Mm.
Just met some wonderful friends
Do you still keep in touch with any of them today?
there.
Or?
No, I started to do that, and I found out some were gone, so I'm not doing this. Oh, I went to the wall in Washington D.C.
Okay.
and I didn't use the book because I want to remember what I remembered last, and I didn't want to change that.
Sure.
So.
Before we get into your trips after the war to the wall, we'll get back to the wall again.
Okay.
Okay. When you got your orders to leave Vietnam, how did you feel?
Oh, I was happy. Well, just before that, I got the re-enlistment spiel.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You gotta stay in. Major Castellari is gonna make you staff sergeant within 6 months. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home. So, yeah, I was very, very happy to get back.
So they tried to convince you otherwise.
Oh
huh?
yeah, well, Miss Days, no, I am so not. No, I'm going home. But now going home, I want to talk about the chip.
Sure. Real quick, I think
Okay.
there's something else I asked about Vietnam. Did you know how the war was going? Did anybody tell you anything? What was going on?
No, because we were so busy doing our jobs that that didn't really. I guess I didn't want to know at that time because I had my job to do,
Mm-hmm.
and all of us had to do it for the war effort. So I would hope we were. I mean,
Yeah.
no, I didn't say what the score,
Mm-hmm.
who's winning, but
Did you have any like you could listen to any music over there at all?
we made our own. We had some guys who could sing, play the guitar.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any favorite music back then, or your favorite bands, songs, or whatever?
I'd have to think on that one.
Okay, if you think later, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
There's a lot of talk of drugs over there. Did you see any of that?
No, and you know what? That's what ticks me off about that movie, Full Metal Jacket.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't that much going on, and boy, did they sensationalize that for the audience.
How about Platoon? That was another one.
Yeah.
That did a
No,
lot.
I can tell you, we had our beer and we had whiskey, but there was, and I ran with all the guys. There was no pot and nothing else going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I would never watch that movie again. That was a travesty.
Mm-hmm.
That did not depict them at all.
Mm-hmm.
There was no stoners on there stumbling around. No.
We've had some vets say there was, but
Well,
as you know, Hollywood likes to
sensationalized.
big time.
Well, all I can say is for our group, civil engineers, it was not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just alcohol.
yeah, we had beer. Beer was a quarter. Shot of whiskey was a quarter. So
Yeah.
yeah. First of all, we didn't have a place to get it. I mean, other than on the construction site,
Mm-hmm.
or you're taking a shower or going to the chow hall to eat, you don't get a lot of free time to do much. I mean,
Mhm.
we worked 12, 13 hours a day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was no, and you're tired.
Did you have any time off, like weekends off, or even Sundays, huh?
Sundays we got off. And the only thing we had that we could play is horseshoes, and we had one base football, and someone kicked it in the minefield, and one of the Vietnamese that used to work on the base tried to get it, blew himself up,
Mm.
so that left it with horseshoes, and that was it.
Did you see that happen, or
No, I heard it though.
yeah, you heard it go off?
Yeah.
Uh,
So, but
but it was the Vietnamese that went out there.
yeah, I thought he could get the football and keep it,
Mm.
or sell it back to us.
Oh.
That was a mistake.
Okay, so then when you went home, did you fly out of Saigon or right off the base you were at?
I flew out of Pleiku.
Okay,
Yeah, the 141 Star Lifter again.
okay. Then you went back to Hawaii, did you? Or
Yes.
okay, and then back where after that?
Back home to Dearborn, Michigan. Dearborn Heights, Michigan.
Okay. You didn't have to go back to Andrews Air Force Base, or?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Andrews. Yeah, we had to fly back to Andrews first, and then I got discharged.
Okay, all right.
But
No,
what people? Was it time for the chip yet?
what's that?
Time for the chip part? The chip is when you come home and you're still there.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And you're home physically, and you know you are.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I had a hair trigger temper.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom and I went out to dinner at this lounge, and the bartender wouldn't serve me because he told me I was too young to have a beer.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed him the ID, and my ID,
Mm-hmm.
military ID, and he still wouldn't. And I'm not proud of it, but I punched him.
Did you?
And my dad, of course, defended me, and my mom saying, "Let's get the hell out of here."
Mm-hmm.
And so we got up threw over some tables. He was out taking a nap. Yeah, and same as my daughter. She got back from Afghanistan, and she's an MP in the Army. And if I stood behind her, she asked me to be in front of her, even though clearly she knows I'm dead. But you're not. It takes a while for that to go away.
Sure.
I mean, I had that for about 6 months. I mean, just hair trigger. You know, with by the drop of a hat, because I just wired, I guess.
Sure.
But it got better. I mean, in time. But like I say, just because they're back don't mean they're really back.
Yeah. So you got back. You got discharged in '66. You said. And that time, Vietnam really started to kick up.
Yeah.
You saw the protests, obviously, around the country. Johnson and McNamara escalating the war big time. How did you feel about that when you got out? Did you feel you should go back in, or did you just feel knowing what those guys are probably heading to? How did you feel?
I think we could have done a better job. I knew it. First of all, the French were there and they got their ass kicked there. There's a statue of the French, for the French, because they couldn't win there. And so we were there. I mean, I got news from McNamara. You know, it wasn't our war. You know, but be that as it may, we were told to go. We're going. So,
Yeah.
you know, and I said the draft dodgers and burning their draft cards or going to Canada. You know, this is your country. You don't want this anymore? You don't want to pay the price for freedom? Well, good luck in Canada.
Then when, what is that, did you even watch the news when the war really got going?
No.
Okay.
No. I figure it's out of my hands. I did what I could while I was there, and you know, that's all I could do. I had a clean conscience, and I felt good about what I did.
Now, Johnson wouldn't run again, and probably because of the
lame duck.
well, yeah, because of the pressure from protesters and the Vietnam War very escalated that him and McNamara did. Then Nixon won the election. How did you feel about that? Did you think he'd do something well over there? What did you think?
No, I didn't think that the Nixon was going to change anything. No. I just, you know, he was in politics. And with him, the Watergate thing, and I'm sure there's other. He was very political. Just do whatever will pacify you and play the game. So no, I don't think so.
I know he ordered some strikes against Cambodia because of supply lines there from the Viet Cong.
Well, you know what? They bombed Hanoi twice. There was a Viet Cong general that said, if you had bombed us one more time, we were going to surrender. And then they stopped the bombing after two bombing runs.
Wow. And then all of a sudden, you know, Nixon resigned, Watergate, and then our local man, Gerald Ford, took over.
Good man.
Yep, he was. I even had a chance to meet him once too.
Did you?
Yes, I did. But anyway, did you feel sorry for Ford with the mess that was given to him?
I did.
Did you think that there was any way out of Vietnam at that time, or did you think he had to just go right through with it and continue the evacuation? And anyway, how did you feel?
I don't think we should have evacuated anything. I think if we would have followed through and quit having being a political war than a real war, we wouldn't have had to evacuate. They would have been gone. Hanoi would have surrendered. Everything would have been different.
Yeah.
But no. That's on us.
Was there anything you think Ford could have done? He got denied Congress any aid to South Vietnam.
Yeah.
But by that time, pretty much the war was probably over with, don't you think?
Yeah. But and then when we got back, you know the cat calls we got.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you get any people say anything to you when they knew you was in service? Did you?
I reacted to it.
Okay. I mean, you can share it with me if not. If you don't, that's fine. Lot of veterans have told me what they did too. So,
I punched him.
yeah.
I did. And I'll punch every goddamn one of them that does that. How dare you? How dare you spit on me? How dare you call me a name? Were you there? Did you put any skin in the game? No, you did not.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm gonna knock you on your ass. That's just the way I feel about it too.
Well, it's a normal reaction.
Yeah,
you know.
And then I got it's 58,479. I just remembered what we lost. Are you kidding me? I mean, God bless Desert Storm, Desert Shield, and all those. And they got ticker tapes parade. And then they have the audacity to take us down to Fifth Third Ballpark and honor us? Just like, Steve, if I forgot your birthday, and 30 years later, hey, Steve, come on out. Listen, I forgot your birthday. Here, no, stick it. You know, I don't, that's, what? That's even put more salt on the moon. I mean, that's crazy. And,
But anyway, what did you feel about the Vietnamese refugees that Ford helped get over here, get them homes? Did you think that was a good thing he did? Cambodian refugees too.
I don't know how I feel about it. I got a neighbor who's Vietnamese. I got trouble with that. I hear them talk in Vietnamese, and I speak a little Vietnamese. I'm not comfortable. You know, I'm just not that they're bad people. Nothing to do with them at all. I just.
Does it bring back memories?
It takes me back.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So yeah, it bothers me.
One thing I have to tell you though, this is coming from a couple of them I know. One's a friend of mine. He's a cop at Grand Valley. Another, they help run the First Walk restaurant there on Alpine.
Yeah.
They wanted me to tell you and all the Vietnam veterans thank you very much for helping them.
And God love me. I would help them again. But let's do the job.
Yep. So anyway, Vietnam War's ended and stuff, and all this ridicule and stuff like that. Then, of course, you've told me how you felt about those that dodged the draft. Now, there's different types of draft dodgers back then. There's those the ones that went to Canada, those that went to college, and then those that joined the National Guard. How did you feel about all that?
I'm okay with 2 out of the 3. The ones that went to Canada, stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in college, you get a deferment for college, God bless you. National Guard, God bless you. But don't go to Canada and run out on your country. Don't do that.
Yep. So anyway, you mentioned the Vietnam Wall. When you found out they were going to build something like that, and it was by a woman named Maya Lin, I think she was Vietnamese, that designed that. Really great design.
It's
fantastic.
It's gorgeous, but...
Anyway, how did you feel about the wall when it went up finally?
When I went there, again, I told you I didn't look for my friends in the book. But I did kneel down for about 20 minutes and just reflected and said prayers for those that aren't here. Some of them could have been my buddies, and God bless you guys.
Definitely is something worth seeing in D.C.
Yes.
Right there. That was long time coming.
But I'd recommend, even though you just think that you would want to see if your friends are on the wall, just remember them the way they were, and then you won't be disappointed.
Exactly. Did you leave anything at the wall?
Yes.
What'd you leave?
Rose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had vendors on the street.
Oh. Good location too, right by the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah.
Real good location. All right, now we're back up past 82 because that's when the wall was put up and stuff. And anyway, your personal life again. When did you get married?
First time, 1968, and that lasted for 17 years, but alcohol got the best of her, so we divorced.
Okay. Any children from that?
Yes. Got 3 sons and a daughter.
Okay. What are their names?
Jeff, Cheryl, Wayne, and Trey. And Wayne's a police officer in Westminster, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's a X-ray tech. And my other 2 work for a couple of factories there.
Okay.
Doing well.
Now you mentioned up comes Desert Storm when it came up. I mean, we were building forces and stuff over there to stop Saddam Hussein to kick him out of Kuwait.
Mm-hmm.
President Bush, first President Bush, H.W. Bush, being a World War II vet himself, he promised the nation this is not going to be another Vietnam. Do you think he fulfilled that promise after we did victory in Desert Storm, or how do you feel?
I think he did, because we went in there and took care of business. We did not. We did not finish in Vietnam. That was never finished.
Right.
Yes, I think he did.
And
now it's not Colin Powell, but who was that other?
Schwarzkopf.
Yes,
Schwarzkopf.
smart man.
Yep.
And he said that this won't be a Vietnam, or we're going to do this.
Colin Powell said that too.
Okay.
A couple good generals there.
Yeah. No kidding. No
And-
nonsense.
And Vietnam veterans too.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I think they were like either majors or captains during the Vietnam
Mhm.
War stuff. You know.
Schwarzkopf was no dummy. He was
Oh, yeah.
sharp.
Very
He was
good.
doing- So yeah. And I do remember that when our tank assaulted, they were holding up their hands and surrendering. And one of them said, "What took you so long?" they don't want no part of this.
You mean that over at Desert Storm?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some friends that was an MP unit from Owasso, and they said that they were surrendering in droves coming to their
like,
plant. So it's
hey, we're over here.
Yeah, they were giving my friends that were their MPs. They were giving them money and stuff.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
here, you can have this. You know.
Yeah. Just take me away.
Yeah. But anyway, then of course came the Iraq War and then Afghanistan. Did you said you had a daughter that was there? Or did
Yes.
You, okay.
Yeah,
What branch was she in?
a military police.
Army?
Yeah.
She active duty, was she?
Oh,
Or
yeah. Very
Okay.
active duty.
She wasn't guard or reserve? Or, Okay.
She was there.
How was it for her?
Well, she had to straighten them out. I guess she told me she's tired of hearing the Afghanistan folks go, well, why are you here? You're supposed to make babies. And, just that condescending stuff. So her name is Liza. Well, Liza straightened them out very quickly. And then she was on patrol with an Afghanistan soldier. Well, there was a dog underneath a tree trying to stay cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this Afghanistan soldiers throwing rocks at him. My daughter turns the saw. You know what a saw is? That machine gun just throws out 1,000 rounds a second or something.
Mhm.
You turn it on, so you throw one more rock, I'm taking you out.
Wow.
They have no. Everything is defined. Women are
Right.
lowest you can be. Dogs are
Even lower?
even lower.
Yeah, a lot of Middle Eastern countries are like that.
Yeah,
I noticed that when I was in Saudi and Kuwait. Same thing.
yeah, just
Not the dogs, but I noticed the women.
Yeah, yeah,
Our
the
women
women.
got treated pretty bad.
yeah.
Yeah. Not by us, but by them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if any of the other MPs noticing that she's having a bad time with one of the Afghanistan soldiers, well, it's not good. Something's gonna happen.
Mhm.
So, but no, she did good.
Did you give her any kind of talk when you found out she was going over there, or did you just wish her well and give her a hug and a kiss, or?
I actually wanted to break her leg so she wouldn't have to go. She's tough. She's got good genes in her. She'll just do it. Yeah, but stubborn. God, she's stubborn. Mhm. No, she did good, and well, she's an NCO now. And,
Oh, she's still active duty?
yeah,
Okay.
still well, she's at Fort Knox, then
Oh, Kentucky.
Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
Is that still the armored division? Is it, or is it just Is it something else?
No, there's tanks there, but I don't think. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think it is.
Yeah.
Right outside the base is Fort Knox.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so she's doing well.
Good. Good.
But I guess she had when she got promoted to the NCO, her duties changed, and all of a sudden she's got people working for her. Well, she never had that experience before, so she got a little flustered with it in the beginning. I said, I said, just like having kids. I said, you just gotta see what they need, take care of their needs, get them to do what you want them to do.
Yep.
I said, it'll be an investment.
Well,
But
so
she's fine.
you remarried again. I take it
Yes.
after you. Okay.
Yeah.
And just tell me about that briefly. How'd you meet her? I mean, how'd you meet your first wife first? You know.
I met her at a USO dance.
Okay.
And went together and just things clicked and we got married. And I was in the military then too.
Hmm.
So,
And what was your second wife?
yeah, that's the one that liked the alcohol.
I mean your second one, the one you're
Yeah,
married to
yeah,
now.
yeah. Both of them did.
Oh, okay. What's your wife's name now?
Christy.
Christy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Where'd you meet her at?
I used to work for Grabber in Grand Rapids.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked there for years, and she worked there, and I did too.
Okay.
And we were friends for 10 years, 15 years. So
Well,
we finally
that-
did it right.
and that's your second marriage or
Third.
third? Okay. All right. Third marriage. Okay. All right then. Real quick. We'll mention the presidents because I feel your commander in chief is basically how a military runs,
Yeah.
pretty much. And we'll start with Kennedy there. How do you feel he ran the military?
Excellent.
Okay.
I do.
Because he was your commander in chief then.
Yes.
There was an interview by Walter Cronkite a few months before he was assassinated, and he asked him straight out about Vietnam, and he says, I don't know how much, whatever, you can get it on YouTube or something like that, the interview itself. And he pretty much said it's going to have to be up to South Vietnamese to take care of this war. I don't want to send any more troops there. We'll back them up and all that stuff. But do you feel if Kennedy would have lived on, do you think Vietnam would have ended the way it did, or do you didn't think it make any difference?
I think it would have made a difference because, again, as great as president he was no nonsense. If he saw a need that, okay, the South can't handle this, they need some help, maybe because they're outgunned or something, it would have been in it. But if he did call that, make that call, we'd have won it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real briefly, Johnson.
Pass the T.
Okay, no problem.
Johnson.
Nixon.
Tricky dick.
Yeah, same thing. How about Ford?
Yes. Good man.
Okay. I'll briefly go through the next few presidents and then that'll be it. Carter?
Peanuts are good.
Okay. Ronald Reagan.
Great actor.
All right. You think he did good with the military?
Yes. I think he's fine.
George H.W. Bush.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to mention the next one or not. Should I?
Start with T.
No. Mr. Clinton.
I think him and Hillary are the two crookedest human beings walking the earth. I think there is so much. If they dug up all the real dirt, are you kidding? The people wouldn't believe it.
I was referring to how do you think Clinton ran the military?
He was too busy with.
Other things.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll stop right there as far as the.
How about Trump?
Well, Trump's still young yet in office. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
How about George W? Do you think he did all right?
Yes.
Okay.
He did.
How about Mr. Obama without?
I think he was trying to make everybody happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he wanted to be all things to everybody.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that was.
He didn't do too bad actually, but
No, I mean,
yeah.
but I think he a little short in the spine area where I think you could have been more decisive. about
Sure.
things,
All right. Anyway, thank you very much for your service, Ray. I
You're
appreciate
very
it.
welcome. You're
And
very
I'm
welcome.
I'm glad to meet you. I'm glad you let us have this interview. And basically, anything else you'd like to add? Like to say?
Just God bless America.
Okay. You mentioned a little bit earlier before we end this interview that you're finally getting recognition and it's like a salt in the wound. It's turned around now how people are viewing the Vietnam War, especially veterans.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
You know what? I don't have an answer, but